Washington President Trump's deregulation push got a boost after a federal judge denied an emergency request on behalf of an Obama-era holdover who disputed Mr. Trump's decision to appoint a new acting director of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. The ruling addressed a partisan legal spat at an agency thrown into chaos as two acting directors publicly laid claim to the title of rightful, if temporary, leadership. At a hearing on Tuesday afternoon, Judge Timothy J. Kelly of the Federal District Court in Washington said that Mick Mulvaney, Mr. Trump's pick and the current director of the White House Office of Management and Budget, could lead the Bureau while the case was being considered. Legal experts and consumer advocates say Judge Kelly's decision continues a protracted legal battle first initiated by Leandra English, who was elevated on Friday to acting deputy director and presumed acting director when Richard Cordray, an Obama appointee, resigned a week earlier than expected. The dispute over who would lead the Bureau intensified Sunday night, when Ms. English asked the court to provide an emergency restraining order to block Mr. Trump from appointing Mr. Mulvaney. The case pits the language in two federal laws against each other. Ms. English and her lawyers argued that the Dodd-Frank Act, the 2010 law that established the Bureau after a financial crisis, had made a succession plan clear. The deputy director was to serve as acting director in the absence of a permanent leader. Mr. Trump is able to appoint his own director, but confirmation could take months and slow Republican efforts to defang the agency. Mr. Cordray's effort to appoint Ms. English was seen as an effort to extend this process. On Tuesday, Ms. English made it clear that she would fight to continue working at the Bureau after Mr. Mulvaney's tumultuous first day on the job. Yesterday, I spent time at the CFPB, I reviewed transition materials, and I met with members of Congress to lay out my plans for ensuring that the Consumer Bureau continues to fight for working families, Ms. English said in a statement relayed through her lawyer, Deepak Gupta. Today, I plan on spending the day at CFPB headquarters taking calls and meetings with external stakeholders and Bureau staff. Judge Kelly, who was nominated by Mr. Trump and confirmed in September, had voiced issues at an earlier hearing on Monday, noting that lawyers for the president could not definitively say whether Ms. English was protected from losing her job. The judge also said that neither set of lawyers had addressed whether Mr. Mulvaney can wear two hats. In a court filing, lawyers for Mr. Trump and Mr. Mulvaney said that the confusion surrounding the Bureau's leadership stems from Ms. English's meritless claims because the President, the Justice Department's Office of Legal Counsel and the agency's General Counsel all agree that Mulvaney is the acting director. In a brief filed with the court, more than 24 members of Congress, as well as former Representative Barney Frank, Democrat of Massachusetts, argued that the law clearly established Ms. English as the Bureau's acting director under Dodd-Frank, which was written to protect the agency from political influence.